Hello, welcome. Hopefully you can hear me. Please let me know if there's any issues. Sorry, we're trying another new tech setup tonight, which thankfully lets me be a little more relaxed. Sorry, it's going to suit up. Yeah, so new tech setup, which means I'm not completely locked to my phone. I can actually run things from my computer downstairs. And not be completely linked to the phone. Let me just set up my chat. Make sure I can keep an eye on things here. Okay. 1 moment. Sorry, I meant I can be running things from my computer, but unfortunately I still need my tablet to actually monitor the situation. So what do we have here? Chat. Nothing in chat. Oh wait, yes there is. Baker Meeple, welcome. Thank you. Audio sounds great. That is fantastic. Wasn't entirely sure how that would work, but it all seems to be linking up. So I'm basically streaming my phone down to my computer, and it works pretty well. My overlay, I can have my... Is that count? Sorry, that countdown should have gone away. But I'm sure we can handle that. Okay, excellent. So, what are we doing today? I've been playing a lot of Merchants of Dark Road, which you may have seen. So let me just close this window here. Yes, I've been playing a lot of Merchants of Dark Road. I played a solo game over the long weekends, and played a two-player game last night. So I'm very hyped for that. We're a little bit late. It's been a few months later getting to Canada and everywhere else. But apparently the UK is still waiting on theirs, so we're not the last. The roads move slowly in some parts of the world here. So, I've been very excited to do this. I know I did promise that I would be making pretzels, and I wanted to make pretzels. It's been far too long since I've made pretzels. But I was trying to think, how can I make pretzels work with this game specifically? Obviously pretzels in a tavern work pretty well. It's like, I can bend them into a wheel shape. Does that have to bend multiple pretzel lengths into one? I could make it work, but then I just thought of wagon wheels, which some of you may be familiar with. If you have tried actual wagon wheels, let me know. I thought of that, which was too perfect. Meeple and Moose, Canada Post's snowmobiles need to get up a lot to get across the... Yes, I need to gas up a lot to get across the prairies. Yes, it's been a long, treacherous journey over the Cascadian Mountains. I guess it's been they took the long dark road to get to Vancouver. Okay. So where are we going to start? So yes, wagon wheels. So I'm sure a lot of you in the States will be familiar with Tim Tams. They're becoming quite common in North America now. I know you can actually buy Tim Tams in Canada here now. You just straight buy. Mind you, can only buy 2 or 3 flavors. In Australia, there's at least a dozen flavors of Tim Tams and limited editions, and they go all out. But Australia's got a lot of chocolate cookies that I think are pretty great compared to what I found so far here in Canada, at least. I imagine even in America it's even more dire. You've got your moon pies, that sort of thing, I guess. Wagon wheels are kind of similar to moon pies. It's basically biscuit layer, or 2 biscuit layers, marshmallow in the middle, jam, and covered in chocolate. So, pretty simple. But the quality can vary quite a bit. You can get something called wagon wheels here in Canada that doesn't have the jam in the middle, which missing this type of, so this the quality of everything was not cutting it. So it didn't really live up to my high expectations, my high standards from Australia. So I guess we'll just have to make our own. So what have we got here? It's pretty simple. Basically, we're making shortbread. We've got marshmallows, we've got jam, we've got chocolate. Any one of those steps we could make ourselves. I could make marshmallow from scratch. It's going to take a bit too much time for what we're dealing with here tonight. So we're just going to melt down our own. You could do your own like raspberry coulis and like boil down fresh berries and make your own jam. Again, don't have time for none of that, so we're just going straight to the sauce. We got bottled jam, and we've got some chocolate that we can melt down. So I recommended that we use dark chocolate to sort of balance out the sweetness and the marshmallows and everything. All the Wagon wheels I've ever had don't include jam. Yeah, I think they do have varieties. Like, what limited research I saw, there are different flavors, but I've only ever seen the basic Wagon wheel here, which didn't have jam. It was pretty rubbish. But the classic Australian one has jam in the middle as well. Usually raspberry jam, I guess. Bacon meatball. I've never heard of Wagon wheels, but they look delicious. Yeah, I mean, it's just you can't really go wrong. It's cookies, chocolate, and marshmallow. There's another really good one. It's very similar, just a slightly different method. There's like a smaller cookie. It's a small round cookie with like a big dollop of marshmallow on top, and sometimes jam in the middle, but then all coated in chocolate. It's like a drop shape. Like there's a big dollop of marshmallow covered in chocolate with like a cookie base. I think they put like Royales or something. There's a whole line of chocolate cookies in Australia. They're all tend to be from the same. Like it's all Arnott's biscuits in Australia. It's all from that one line. It does Tim Tams and everything else. My absolute favourite though, which I'll have to try and make my own one day, is mint slice. Which, hello Ted. Yes, I've got a very good cat camp here today. Usually he's sitting on the back of the other couch, but he's deigned to sit here tonight. Mint slice, they're basically the same as the mint cookies from the Girl Guides. I've only tracked in a box of those once, but they're 90% of the way to mint slice, and they're good. But I haven't been able to track them down since. So I'm waiting for the season to come back. Hello Ted. Hello Ted. Has anyone else got any favourite chocolate biscuits? I don't know what the equivalent is. Like, there's a whole line. I know, like, there's moon pies and Twinkies, and there's a whole line of sort of cakey biscuits in the States, I guess. Or also, like, there's the black and white cookies that you made bacon maple. So similar, I guess, a whole line of those chocolate biscuits. I'm not sure what you have like widely available in the States though. Okay, so what have we got here? I need the preheat oven, so I think it was 350. Yes, 350 Fahrenheit. Okay, so then we need to make our shortbread. So got our mise en place here. Everything prepped. So, do you think we go for time? While waiting, I can show off a little bit of the game here. I've got some goodie bags of some deluxe resources. Maybe some ASMR for, hang on. Nope, and my phone is off, maybe? There we go. Can't actually see what you're seeing. Some nice metal coins we have here. So we can play with those later. Okay. So, cookies. Okay. So, I guess I should probably have set up my mixer, huh? So, I'm a little unorganized. My falling apart. One of the doors to the pantry cupboard literally fell off half an hour ago, so we're scrambling to try and get that off before it hurts anyone. But I think we're back on track now. Okay, so we're gonna cream some butter and sugar. Start simple. So we're just making shortbread, which is dead simple. So we're creaming the butter and sugar. I should clarify how much. I've already measured it out, but just for your sake, what have we got here? We've got 13 grams of unsalted butter, softened. We've got 200 grams of white sugar, and we're just going to cream it. Okay, so again, I'll do that over here, so to keep the noise away from you all. Hello the Gravedigger and D. Thanks for joining. How are you both doing? Excuse the noise, sorry. The Gravedigger, have you ever had wagon wheels? Because they are available in Canada, I was saying, but I don't think they're as good as what I'm used to, but again, you probably wouldn't know better. I appreciate all of your ingredients are weighed out. Yes, I'm especially when you're baking, it helps to be a little more. And I still haven't quite gotten used to cups, because I mean you can measure in cups is pretty fairly consistent, but the cups vary in size between whether you're in Australia, America, Canada. I've never been able to remember exactly what the difference is, so it's easy to measure. Especially when a lot of the recipes I have, like from back home in Australia and family, are going to be those slightly different measurements. They're supposed to be consistent. He says cups are dumb. Yes. Sorry, let me just scroll. I've got a very small chat. Can I blow this out? How do I blow out the chat? Pop out. There we go. That's better. I can read you all now. Except it didn't. Oh, there it is. Okay. She has a chicken burger, and you are doing food porn. Yes. We actually had. I met up with Cindy, another mutual friend of ours, at Fat Burger today. I didn't have a chicken burger, but he did, and I was very jealous of his chicken burger. So I'm gonna have to go back for that sometime soon. Yes, but it's been a while. Oh, since you had a wagon wheel, that's fine. Okay. So let me just check on this. Okay, so we're just creaming up our butter and sugar, and then we're adding the egg. Where's my egg? Egg. And where are we? Egg and vanilla. So a teaspoon of vanilla. Teaspoon? Sorry, yeah, teaspoon, but you can usually add a little bit more. We're also having Fat Burger. Excellent. I'm sorry for tempting you. There's a new one open just downtown, like a block or so away from my work. Like, there have been a couple within walking distance. There's one that's like too close now that it's very tempting, and it's a nice layout and room to sit down and everything. So that's nice. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is about good to go. Let me just scrape this together. Sorry, it's a tough balance between actually letting you see the food and then drowning you all out so you can't actually hear me. Okay, let me. I need to have a drink. I always get to put the kettle on, and it's going to be too loud to turn it on now, so I'm going to grab a drink. Okay, and I will be helping myself to this bag of marshmallows here as we go. Hello. Hello. Okay, so we're adding egg and a teaspoon of vanilla to our creamed sugar. Yes? Okay, so now we can start mixing our flour and everything else. SodaStream has been my drink thing lately. That and the weird honey lemon powder. I'm not actually aware of that. I did actually buy some new. I've not used the SodaStream, but I'm quite the sucker for bubbly and the soda water lately. I bought a fresh box. It's still in the car. I forgot to bring it up, so it's not cold enough just for now. So Just regular water it is. Slumming it tonight. Okay, so we're going to mix our flour. That was, how much flour was that? That was 295 grams of plain flour. Quarter teaspoon of salt. Right, quarter teaspoon of salt that was. Quarter. There we are. Excuse me. Sorry, the cat is now playing with the charging cable for my phone, but thankfully it reminded me that it's not actually plugged in. You just trying to remind me, are you, Ted? Whew, okay, well, it was getting pretty low, so thankfully he reminded me before I realised there. Okay. The soda stream and water, the flavour enhancers are great. I have a mango pineapple one. Ooh. We have, I've seen you can actually get official bubbly, like this is, what was it, Bubbly, the soda water brand. You can get like official mixes for that, like to go with the soda stream. So that is awfully tempting. I'm not sure what the economics way out to be. Like I don't want another appliance in the house. But I guess if you're saving on not having a bunch of cans, then it might be worth it. I'll see. But yeah, pineapple mango sounds good. We've got a hang on, let me find it. My wife's really into like these squirty waters. It's just like, it's like cordial basically. In Australia, these things would come in like litre bottles. Just like a giant carton of like Coddy's cordial. This is like just an ultra concentrated version of that, I guess, that you just squeeze into regular water. You know what? Why don't we do that? Hang on. Found it. Yeah, so this is like, it's just strawberry lemonade. Board Game Spam, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Yes, thanks for joining. Have you tried wagon wheels before? Have you come across? I mean, I know you've been up to Canada, so maybe you've come across time up here. Oven is preheated, excellent. So we've timed that correctly. What is this? What is this? Why have I got this? This is for the vanilla. Where's the vanilla? Okay, don't want loose vanilla lying around. D likes the mixed berry, and I'm drinking root beer mostly. I'm not a fan of root beer. We never really had root beer in Australia. We have, I mean, Dr. Pepper was in Australia, like, not very commonly, but you could get Dr. Pepper. I know that's not the same thing, but to me, they both taste so similar that I can't stand either of them. So, it's an I know that I've just never gotten around to trying. Oh, you're back! Hello! Sorry, so we've creamed our butter. Now we're mixing our flour and salt. I did the salt. Did I? Yeah, that looks like salt. I did the salt. Okay, now we've got our baking powder. That was another quarter teaspoon. No, one and a half teaspoons. Has anyone tried Merchants of Dark Road, by the way? So let's see, it's been in the States for quite a while now. I think it's like it was arriving in December, January in the States, and taking a little long here. Root beer and Dr. Pepper are so different. What is it? Is it sarsaparilla? Is that what Dr. Pepper is? Or is that what root beer is? I know they're all like in the same family of sodas to me. I will give you your I'm blanking on it. Canada Dry. Canada Dry is pretty good. But in Australia, the place that Canada Dry fills here is filled by Lift, which is like Sprite, but more it's lemonade, but actually lemony. So Sprite lemonade is not lemony at all, but this is like it's like yellow lemonade that actually tastes like lemon, and that's really good. Can't get it here, but it's like an actual lemony lemonade that fills the same sort of spot in the drink machines as Canada Dry does here. I wanted something sweet and without caffeine for nighttime. Oh, for root beer, I guess. Sarsaparilla and root beer are quite similar. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can buy sarsaparilla generally today. It's more an old school thing. There is a few places in Vancouver that sell like old school soda, so I'm sure you So we've got our flour, salt, baking powder, and I keep getting distracted. But that's all we needed. Cool. Let's just whisk that up. Now, what we still need to decide, this recipe I found is for one giant wagon wheel that you can like cut up into segments, or make regular. I mean, there's actually even regular wagon wheels came in various sizes. There was like the regular packs that were like, I'm trying to think of it, like basically the size of like the lid here. So that was regular wagon wheel size. Then you could get single packs of giant wagon wheels that are about this, like double that size. This recipe is like for a dinner plate size wagon wheel, but I feel like we'll just, unless someone has a preference one way or the other, I think we'll just go somewhere in the middle and have a few largish sized wagon wheels. When I was over in Victoria, I had a flight of soda at Spinnaker's. I recommend you take a trip over there and have a flight one day. Spinnaker's, what's the deal with that? I'm not aware of Spinnaker's. But Moose and the Meeple was over that way, so I'm guessing he might be aware of that too. Okay, we can get this out of the way. So let's pull this together. So we have our wet mix. So the lighting's probably not great. Don't bring that in the floor. That's alright, Ted will lick it up. Okay, so it's going to add the dry mixture, the wet mix, and obviously shortbread will be a pretty dry mixture. Spinnaker's is a brew pub hotel. They make a lot of stuff. Interesting. And a flight is a brew pub speak for a paddle. Yeah, well, yeah, I know what I've had like a flight of beer or a flight of ciders. There's a really good cidery over in Victoria. Sea cider. The first time we went over there, we like braved a storm to walk to this cidery and had a flight of cider. That was very nice. But yeah, I've not seen Spinnaker's. I've been well overdue for a trip over to the islands. Sea cider is super great. We love the product. Yeah, like there's a few places that you can buy it over here, but we actually went out to the location on the island. So let's mix this together. When I think like traditional soda here, though, what I think of is Glenburn. It's like a milk bar type style that we have here in Vancouver. It's basically like it's like you're in the 50s. It's or like Back to the Future or something. Like nothing in there would give it away as something modern. Like they don't have any modern technology in there, but they've just got like milkshake machines and sundaes and old school candy and old school soda, and it all looks very old school. And yeah, it's do really good ice cream sundaes. First time chat from Sotos1306. Sotos Greece 4%. Welcome. Thanks for joining. We're just talking sodas. Our favorite. Do you have a favorite soda? And we're talking wagon wheels because we're making wagon wheel candy, like chocolate biscuits. Okay. Have you been to the Lost in the 50s in South Burnaby yet? No. I think it's a bit out of the way. I think I've been past it on the bus, but I've not been down that way for a while. So yeah, I should definitely check that out. Old school diner, yeah. No sodas for you. That's okay. We don't have. I don't really drink soda. I mostly drink soda water. But we're just talking about like old school sodas and things. It's famous. It's weird. It's worth a visit. Yeah, I'll definitely add it to the list. I'm desperate to get back out to New Westway sometime soon. Sorry, New Westminster. I don't want to use all the Vancouver slang. There's a really great barbecue place out there called Re-Up. Like the best fried chicken I've had in Vancouver. And I'm way overdue getting out that way. And I think that you passed by that diner. Okay, so it's pretty dry and crumbly. Again, sorry, the light isn't great from this angle. Up. So I might just have to go in it with my hands and sort of bring it a little more cohesive. High Five is really good chicken in Burnaby. Yeah, I've not tried High Five, and I've not tried Jollibee. Jollibee just opened in Vancouver. Well, it just opened like 2 months ago, and it's still a line around the block every day. So I cannot get into Jollibee's. But I can smell it walking past, and it smells pretty good. So we've had a whole bunch of like Asian style fried chicken plate chains opening up in Vancouver. Most of them are a little bit out of the way. Like have to travel out into the suburbs to get to. Jollibee's is the first that's sort of opened downtown, so I'm looking forward to trying that. There's not even KFC here sucks for one thing. But there's not even one downtown Vancouver. So even if I was desperate, there's no KFC. But for what it's worth, KFC in Australia was a fair bit better. So I have decent experiences with KFC. I had a re-up pulled pork a few weeks ago. It was solid, though I think Butcher's Block gives them a run for the money. Yeah, Butcher's Block I think is the best barbecue joint for barbecue. Re-up is good generally, but their fried chicken is like the real standout there. They used to do a really nice homemade ginger beer. Last time I went there, they weren't having it anymore. Like they had it on tap, like from the keg, like homemade. Well, I think it wasn't home. It was like sourced, but it was like fresh from the tap. Dickie's ginger beer or something, I think. But it was really good. There's a Church's chicken in a few. Yeah, I tried Church's. Church's is fine. Like it's adequate fried chicken. In a pinch, it's not bad. Like KFC is here. So we've got our dough. So I guess we need to roll this out, right? So use your hands to put it together and split into 2 halves. Yeah. So basically, because we want each wagon wheel is going to be 2 discs and then the jam and marshmallows in between. So we want 2 of them. But it doesn't really matter because we're just going to cut these into going to do several smaller ones anyway. So let's just roll this out. How is everyone today this lovely morning? Oh, I guess it must be morning over there in Greece, is it? I mean, it's evening here. It's what, 9 o'clock over here? But we are doing very nicely. I mean, I'll be even better once we have some cookies. Okay, rolling this out. The buttered... Oh, sorry, I missed a few comments there. My wife grew up in Central America and she said similar things. The KFC in Nicaragua is much better than Canada. Huh. So yeah, I've not tried US KFC, but I wouldn't expect much. But even then, like, obviously it's going to vary quite a bit. Just even location to location in Australia was quite a lot of difference. Same as most of those chains, McDonald's, KFC, you're going to get some differences from like. Generally, they're pretty standard, but occasionally you just find one that's particularly bad. So how thin do we want this? I think we're just going 4 millimeters thick, but we're going to eyeball this. Sorry, I'm a bit scattered. Trying to keep multiple conversations going at once here. KFC. Yes, I was talking KFC. Nicaragua. I mean, obviously I've not been there, but yeah, I imagine some areas that just have better sauces, perhaps, like whatever their local sauce is, happens to be better. Buttered corn was the only thing Church's did really well. I've not tried that, but I will do so next time. I like cookies once in a while. Yeah, I try not to have too many cookies, but. What I tell myself is I can have a cookie if I make them myself. Put it that way. I don't always keep to that, but certainly easy to justify if you have to go to the effort of making them. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Let me find my cookie cutters. think that's decent size, what we're going to go for. So I guess we're going to try and go for 2 or 3. I mean, I'd go for 4, but I don't think we've got quite enough here to get 4 full-size ones. But we'll get 2 or 3. You know what? Let me find my tray. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's go for baking sheet. That's fine. Yeah, because you don't need to worry about with shortbread. They're not going to spread at all. That's not really a concern. So you can go straight from here into the oven. We don't need to chill it or anything. That's sticking though. With the border open, I'm probably going to hit up Adeline. Oh, Adeline Dairy. Yeah, I've only ever been there once. So it's just across the border from Canada. It's technically in the US. In the what's the town I'm in? Burns. I'm sure Gravedigger can fill me in. I'm blanking on the name. It's Blaine. That's it. Yeah, in Blaine there's a dairy. I'm not sure if it's part of a chain or anything or just a one-off, but they do really good. Well, I mean, there's only we were on foot, so we couldn't just buy a whole bunch of dairy products. But they did have really good soft serve ice cream. They had a dozen different flavors of soft serve for really cheap, and it was really good. So, but next time we go down there, we'll be driving, so we can maybe stock up. I'm not sure what the limitations are on what you're allowed to take over the border as well. Yeah, Blaine was a nice little town. The only time in there was when we got our PR. We did the flag posting, you call it. We basically a friend drove us down the border, dropped us off in Blaine. We went to Italy, we went to a diner for lunch. Then we walked back across the border. We walked back across the border to Canada. I mean, legally, we walked through the border to activate our PR. But that's the only time I've been to Blaine. Oh wow! Yeah, it's a raid. Blanket term. Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, thanks for joining. And I don't give a dawn. Thanks so much for joining. So I am Board Game Feast with Daniel, as the name would imply. Obviously, we do board games. We do cooking. Today we are making Wagon Wheels, which is a type of Australian cookie, a chocolate biscuit, shortbread, marshmallow jam, chocolate, all the good stuff mixed together. So we are making that to pair with Merchants of the Dark Road. We've just been talking about some of our favourite cookies, favourite sodas. If anyone has any favourites, who else do we have here? We have Variable Vacancy. Oh, sorry, I missed it. I love lemon cookies. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was never a big fan of lemon flavoured cookies and pies and things growing up. My grandmother always made lemon meringue pie, and I loved the meringue and hated the lemon. I'd always eat all the meringue off the top and lemon, but I've really come around on nice lemon flavoured things now. Like lemon curd is very nice. So I think we've got enough here to scrape together one final cookie. So we're going to have 6 big ones, but they're going to be paired together, like sandwiching in the marshmallow. So, Chimpy Boy, welcome. Thanks for joining. Yes, we have a cat cam as well. He's usually just off cam, but he's very graciously on camera now. So that is Ted, by the way. Ted. There might be another cat around.
It's a spicy meatball.
Show up. We'll see. Lovely lemon meringue pie. Yes, I've really come around on lemon meringue pie.
It's a spicy meatball.
A few months ago for... What was the game I made it for? Sheepy Time. Sheepy Time. That's a bit of a sleepy hit. Pun not intended. We always intend puns around here. Okay, so we have cookies. So these are the shortbread, regular shortbread. So pretty straightforward. So for those who missed it, it's just cream, butter, and sugar, egg, vanilla extract, flour, baking powder, salt. I mean, I think you can make shortbread with even fewer ingredients than that. So we've got these. These are going to go in the oven for 10 minutes. 7 minutes. We'll start with 7 and see how that goes. Sorry, those joining us. Sorry, I did miss a couple of follows there. Chimpy Boy and Variable Vacancy. Thanks so much for following. I am running on a pretty analog setup here. Streaming from my phone, so I don't have access to most of my overlays and alerts and everything. So bear with me if I miss anything. Sorry, but thank you so much for following me. Always glad to have someone join me in the kitchen. And these are all pretty easy recipes. I should have shared the recipe, but this is giant homemade wagon wheel biscuit. What even was the website? The website I hadn't used before. Sugar Salt Magic, and they're giant homemade wagon wheel biscuit. We're not going giant. We're just doing a few smaller ones, but you can have them as big as you want. Oh, timer. Let me set a timer. Okay. You good? Be good. So we've got 7 minutes to vamp. Let me just tidy up a couple of things that can go away for now. Go away. Okay. So, once the cookies are out, we'll let them cool slightly. Then we're gonna. Oh no, we're not gonna let them cool. We're going to put the marshmallows on top. You could make homemade marshmallows and sort of pipe that on. We're just gonna use store-bought to save us some time. And you basically layer them on the top of the cookie, put them back in the oven for a couple of minutes just until they sort of melt and merge together. And basically that's it. So, did you get? Oh, Great Western Trail. Yes, I've not played it yet. So I just announced on our my podcast, the Omni Gamers Club podcast. We just released an episode today for Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game. That's currently on Game Pass. So I played it a few months ago, but Mark just got it now that it's on Game Pass. So we had a good chat about that. I loved it. We both loved the game for what it's worth. I can chat a bit more about that later. But next, we announced that the next episode, because we alternate board games and video games, basically alternate back. We don't discriminate between digital and analog games. But next episode, we're gonna review Great Western Trail, the board game, since it is now they brought out the remastered edition of the game, and it's just been added to Board Game Arena. So I've been playing a couple of games on Board Game Arena. It's been years, so I had to remind myself how that even works. But now that we're playing that, so we're going to cover that for the podcast in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. If any of you would like a game of Great Western Trail, you can hit me up. My Board Game Arena username is Board Game Feast, and always happy to play async. I don't have a lot of time for real time, unfortunately. Steph makes homemade marshmallows, the ones we did for Christmas. The cats decided to walk across very tragic. Oh no. Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's largely there's like gelatin and sugar and egg whites. Is it? I keep having like memories flashed into my brain of these sort of marshmallow bars that my grandmother used to make. That I think was like marshmallow with coconut and like cookie layer, marshmallow layer, shredded coconut on top. And I keep having sort of flash memory, but I can't quite zero in on it and what it was that she made. But I really need to figure that out and make them because like those homemade marshmallows were really good. Have I had a Nanaimo bar? I have. I'm not a huge fan of the sort of. They're too soft. I don't like how soft the custard is. What I really like, which I say I don't like the soft custard, but I like is actually vanilla slice, which is like custard and between two wafers without the chocolate layer. But the type of vanilla slice I really like is like a really gelatinous vanilla slice. It's just like a jello, a slab of custard jello between two wafers and like icing on top. That's my favorite type of vanilla slice. It was much more common in Australia. You can, I've seen a couple of them here, but they tend to be the more creamier Napoleon style vanilla slice. Yeah, they're not, but that's fine. They tend to be a little too rich and custardy for me, for what it's worth. Okay, a few more minutes for those cookies. Let's just look ahead what we're doing here. Sorry, I haven't tried this recipe. I'm kind of winging it here. So yeah, once those are baked, we're gonna. Oh yeah, so we put the jam on, a few marshmallows on, then back in the oven to sort of melt those marshmallows. Pop. Single layer leaving gap. Oh, okay, so don't put the marshmallows right to the edge, obviously, because that will melt right over. Okay. So we've got marshmallows, we have jam. We can probably start chopping up some chocolate. I don't quite know how much of this I need. The recipe I'm looking at said like a block even larger than this to do that one giant wagon wheel, but I don't think we'll need quite that much. And this is dark chocolate just to counterbalance some of the sweetness from all of the marshmallow. I'm just going to melt this down in a pot on the stove, and then dip once the marshmallows are cooked, we'll be putting them back, like coating them basically. Okay. All right, let me just find a pot. Oh, other cat's here. Morty. Come here and say hello. Come on. Morts. Okay, so this is Mort. So Mort rarely is seen on this floor of the house. He often shows up for the basement when I'm at my computer for basement streams. Ted shows up for the kitchen streams. Rarely are they ever seen together. They are brothers. They can't stand each other, sadly. They do not like each other at all. So this is Mort and Ted. You might not be able to tell them apart. There you go. Okay. There is a puppy around here too. I think he's downstairs with my wife. Okay, I'm just gonna boil some water going. Get some water boiling so I can start melting the chocolate. Okay, where are we? Oh yes, Ted's finally left. Sorry, it's probably dinner time. It is. Yes, it is just past the dinner time, so that's why they're circling. Where were we? I think. Let me check the cookies. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, in hindsight, I don't know if we even needed the baking powder because I guess I'm just now realizing shortbread doesn't usually have baking powder. So that's why they're looking a little puffy right now. But I think they still need, you know what, I think they still need another minute. So they are expanding a bit, which I don't usually expect from shortbreads. So I guess this recipe, they aren't explicitly shortbread. They're just more of a sugar cookie. Okay, so those are in there for another minute. Got everything else prepped. So, right, I think we're good to just vamp for a little bit. Let me get all these out of the way. Actually, you know what? Let me get a drying rack. Okay. So, Merchants of Dark Road. For anyone who hasn't been following this. So it's been out for a couple of months, and just hit Canada now. It's a sort of pick up and deliver game. You are it's set in the realm of Lumi, where it is dark for the whole winter, and but business must continue. So you are playing merchants. Each character is a merchant wagon. Get the camera back on. Wagon. Wait, focus. Sorry, lighting again. Okay, I should probably get a focus spotlight there or something. But you each take their own wagon, and you are picking up goods, recruiting heroes, and then sort of dropping off goods and heroes to the remote towns on the outskirts of the realm, to sort of keep everything afloat. And so you've got to balance. It's interesting because you're earning money, and you're earning. You usually just assume, oh, I'm getting victory points. Now, what you're earning is prestige points. So when you deliver goods to these outlying towns, you earn prestige points. When you sell goods to heroes, you're getting money. But at the end of the game, what you do is you take the lower amount. So you can't just focus on earning money. You also have to have goodwill among the towns and the community, I guess. So you need to balance money and prestige. And then at the end of the game, we'll take the lower value, and that's your victory points. There's a few like rewards cards that might give you a few bonus for particular goals, but generally that's it. So you're really trying to balance those two objectives. So it's not a game where you can sort of min-max and just focus on one element of the game. You really have to spread yourself out and sort of. It's very generous. Like there's multiple ways of doing everything you need to do. Like there's 3 or 4 different goods, for example. But so it's not very punishing. There's always something you can do to get more goods. But it's more of being opportunistic, I guess. Is like looking for the good deal. There's a bargain in this area of the board where I can get a bunch of goods for really cheap and jumping on that. So that's really the key thing for that. These cookies are probably done now. Let's grab those. Oven mitt. There we go. Oh yeah. They're golden now. Okay. So I'll just let them rest a minute before I transfer them. Otherwise, they'll completely fall apart because they're big boys. Okay. So yeah, the main thing that stands out to this for me was, of course, the luxury components. I am a complete for deluxe components. I like to talk. I mean, sustainability is a priority for me in the industry generally, but I also like my shinies, so I can't resist some deluxe components. You've got the lanterns, like there's lovely resin tokens. You've got metal coins that are all like. Hang on again. I guess I need to focus this, don't I? So the metal coins here. Can you see this? If I put this back, no. Sorry, I think I need to get a bit of lighting set up. Another thing that really bothers me in Canada: living rooms don't have lights. There is never a lighting fixture in the living room. I do not get it. So sorry. So I'm blaming that. I'm blaming Canada for the fact that you cannot see these. I technically we own this house, so we should get some light in, but it's taken some getting used to. I don't know what it is about Canada. It just does not like lighting in their living room. Do not like looking at each other, I guess. That is still hot, so let's not touch that. Okay, so 3 of these you want to go back in the oven, but the other half are going to be the toppers. So we'll leave 3 out to cool. Oh, okay. Let's just put those over there. Now, okay, sorry, I need to make some space for myself here. So let's put these in here. I've probably cut too many of them now, but that's fine. I can eat the rest. Okay, so now jam these up. I got a knife for that jam, but apparently not. Okay, so I'm literally gonna jam up these cookies. I mean, you can be as liberal or conservative with this jam as you like. I'm not a huge jam fan. I'll probably just have a relatively thin layer, but you want to keep it consistent at least. So what has everyone else been playing lately? Video games, board games, whatever you fancy. I've still been playing a little bit of Founders of Teotihuacan, the new game coming out on Boards and Dice, sort of a spin-off of the original Teotihuacan. Have plans for a baking stream for that. I just need to find some very particular ingredients that I haven't not been able to find. So if any locals watching know of anywhere to get Mexican goods, let me know. Specifically, I'm looking for amaranth, like amaranth grain, and piquecillo. It's like a hard sugarcane. It's like rock sugar, something like that. Yeah, I have some plans for that. For a cooking stream and potentially a review coming very soon for Founders of Teotihuacan. But otherwise, I just had This War of Mine just arrived. I picked that up. Wagon Realms was doing the promotion for Ukraine, raising money for Ukraine, the Ukrainian cause. So I picked up a copy of This War of Mine. Obviously, the theme is a bit grim, especially right now, but I've heard very good things about it. I've played a little bit of the video game, but for the trying that, there was a place on Hastings. It was a Mexican shop and restaurant. Okay, yeah, I know there are plenty around. I just need to track them down. There was one out at Metro Town that we used to go to. It was like a fruit and veggie shop, but they had a bunch of Mexican produce, and they were super friendly. We loved that place when we lived out that way. So I need to get time to get down there. Otherwise, there's a place at Lonsdale Quay that has it's like a Mexican restaurant, but it has some groceries there too. Okay, so we've jammed up those cookies. Let's stack on the mallow. Video game wise, still mostly playing Elden Ring. I didn't play very much at all over the long weekend. At the very start of the long weekend, I hit a fight that just was way too intimidating. It's like, I've had enough of bosses being repeated and doubled up. But I managed to beat it a couple nights ago, so I'm making good progress again in Elden Ring. But I'm still, like, most of my friends have beaten it already. I'm a little behind, but I'm in the capital now, if that makes sense. Which seems like a pretty fun location. It's a very classic Dark Souls. So looking forward to checking more of that, possibly after the stream. So this is just going back in the oven for a couple of minutes just to melt those marshmallows. And we can also start melting this chocolate. So I've just got a pot of boiling water on the stove that's going to sit in so it doesn't burn. Oh, you haven't finished Elden Ring. I am like level 126, but can't kill. Sorry, there's a thing right over that. I can't still kill something of the giants. Yeah, I'm like at level 140 now. I literally did every possible thing I could find before I went to the capital. So I have like cleared out that entire game as much as like I didn't even do any grinding. I mean, other than like being inherently bad and having to run the same content over and over again. But I'm at the point where everything now is pretty easy. So I'm kind of breezing through most of the content, but I know there's a big wall coming very soon. I think there's still quite a bit of a way to go in that game, but I know people finish it like well before I've people have finished the game in a lot less hours than I've put into it so far. So I think I'm just being way too thorough. Andrew, Golden Ring. Oh, I'm responsible for some untimely death because I distracted him during boss fights. Yes, it doesn't take much to lose your focus in that game. But I'll have to check in with Andrew and see how he's going. Cheer him on. It's a lot. It's hard to know what to focus on sometimes in that game. I have way too broad of a build. Yeah, I tend to play these games as a bit of a jack of all trades. I mean, not Dark Souls games, but role playing games in general. Like Elder Scrolls, I always play a bit of a jack of all trades. So it's really hard to not want to do a little bit of everything. Committing to just one or two things is tough. I keep like, just a little bit of magic so I can fiddle with this, or just a little bit of endurance so I can wear some heavy armor. Oh, and a shield. I asked one question and damn, he said yes. You have to be really in the zone for Dark Souls. You have to come up for air sometimes, I guess. Let's check these cookies. Okay. We're looking good. Needs another more minute in there, I think. Man, sorry, this strawberry lemonade just gave me like severe flashbacks, like scout camp and like cordial we were drinking at camp, and I had a bit of an existential crisis there for a moment. I've had this flavor before, and it's never triggered that specific memory. I don't know what happened there. Just getting old, isn't that right, Ted? Yes. Hello. So I will feed you when I'm done here, okay? So I think we're nearly done. Figure out how I'm going to dunk these cookies. I don't think I'm even going to dunk them. I think I'm just going to pour the chocolate over the top because they're too big and unwieldy to really manage this. Pour a third of the melted chocolate in the baking paper. Oh, that's clever. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. So rather than pour the chocolate onto the cookie, we're going to pour chocolate onto the baking paper and then sit the cookie on top. With the bottom of the bag, it doesn't have to have a lot of chocolate. Like, most of it we want to go on the top. But put some on the baking paper, just enough to cover the bottom. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I guess one thing I haven't mentioned is that I'm very excited that Shucks is happening again. Sort of big local Vancouver convention. Actually, you know what? Before I get too distracted, let me check these again. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty good. In fact, where? Oh, there it is, right there. It's gonna like tippy tap these down. Oh, don't want to squish them too much, but just tap them a little bit. Basically, that is it. Now, let me just grab that chocolate. Okay, so chocolate's waiting a couple of minutes. So what chocolate's going to go in here. then cookies onto chocolate, and then the rest of the chocolate over the top. So I think we're good. So yeah, Shucks is happening. Last 2 Shucks have been digital. Even in our other smaller local community convention, Terminal City has been virtual for 3 years now. We just had that last month. And even though a lot of the big American conventions are happening, because it's a smaller local community show, like there wasn't the sort of commercial interest to keep, like, we wanted to keep the community safe. Like there wasn't so much pressure for like businesses and publishers to sort of get the ball rolling, I guess. So that was virtual, but excited that Shucks is going to happen, short of any more major changes or extra waves. So that's in September 30th to October 2nd, I guess. So 3 days here in downtown Vancouver, right on the waterfront. You can see the mountains, you can see the ocean. Beautiful location to be inside playing board games all day. The Board Game Spam, I'm sure, can attest that it's lovely. So yeah, looking forward to that. I've made a lot of like most of the people I play with here in Vancouver are people I met at Shucks, but there's also a lot of people I've met in the industry who will be coming in from out of town that I'm very excited to meet. Like people who were at previous Shucks that I didn't know at the time, because I only started doing content like in the aftermath of the last physical Shucks, and that chocolate is about to burn, I think. Yeah, this whole baking for board game endeavor basically started as like the friends I made at Shucks convincing them to come to my place. Oh, hey, I'll make you lunch, and it's all kind of evolved from there. So this will be the first actual Shucks since then as a content creator, for lack of a better term. So yeah, very excited for that. Fingers crossed, touch wood, that nothing changes. Yes, Board Game Spam is excited for that. Excellent. Obviously, looking forward to meeting you there. Okay. I think we're about good with that chocolate now. It's starting to bubble. Okay, we have melted chocolates. Hang on, I don't know. I can't never tell if I'm pointing in the right direction. Okay, so again, as I said, we're just gonna smear. Oops, hang on. Smear a little bit here. That's about this right size, yeah. Oh, that's not melted properly. Still a couple of lumps in there. Okay. So rough circle-sized shapes. But we want to save most of it for drizzling over the top, obviously. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Excellent. Where's my flipper? Whoa. Oop, that's pretty soft there, so try and make sure not to lose all that marshmallow. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely losing that marshmallow. Getting pretty melty. Probably should have squished them all. I guess you can kind of rely on the cookie to do that for you. Lessons learned. Okay, may have just put too many marshmallows in there. That's okay. Can never have too many marshmallows. I can always just trim around the edges, maybe. You know what? That's a good idea. Why don't we do that? Just so they don't look too lumpy, I'm going to trim all that excess mallow off the sides. mean, still tastes good. What does it matter? Oops. So obviously these won't set tonight, but I will take some photos once they're set. Try to hold off from not eating them straight away. I'll take some photos once they're set and post online. And I swear, I promise, I'm going to do pretzels very soon. It's either going to be my Founders of Teotihuacan next, if I can find the ingredients, or pretzels next. If you can think of a good game to pair with pretzels, let me know. Because I mean, in the past I've done it for Mansions of Madness. Those that's the universe, like Pretzulu. But I mean, pretzels go with any game, to be honest. But if there's anything in particular you can think that, very good for pretzels. Obviously, there is Pretzel Games, the publisher. R.I.P. Okay, so let's just pour this over the top. Oh yeah. Let's see how far this goes. Getting down the sides might prove tricky. We will see. Oh, there we go. A bit of chocolate, huh? I'm sure from your angle you can probably just see brown lumps. I'll try and get you a better photo before the end here. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Tasty brown lumps. Setting a little fast, to be honest. I need to work a little faster. Oh, you know what this is reminding me of now is chocolate dip soft serve. Like the soft serve ice cream vans, and like dip it in the melted chocolate that like then forms the chocolate shell over the top. So just the marshmallow and the chocolate, it's giving me some cravings. I tell you. And what is it? Ice Magic is the other thing. It's the equivalent you use at home, I guess. That you just squeeze over the top of like a bowl of ice cream. It's pretty good stuff. Oh yeah. Okay, so we've got the sides. We've got the sides basically, which means the rest can just drizzle over the top. And we don't want to waste any of this good stuff. So let's get a couple of. Oh, you know what? Anyway, let me see if I can do this. Winging it here. Get some like spokes. So if I can just flatten this out and see if we can get some like spokes going. So we do like. I mean, it's probably all going to melt together. I think it's starting to set enough that I might be able to get something out of this. like some spokes to the wheel. That kind of works. Actually, you know what? Let me just flatten this one out. It's a bit messy. Okay. Excellent. Actually works pretty well, I think. Making it up as we go. Can't see the same for this one on the bottom. I think it's a bit late for that, but let's see how we go. Sure. Okay. I think that's about it. I'll just do a little bit of cleaning up the edges so they don't like form really mass monstrosities around. Let's just cover this up a little bit. Otherwise, the bottom will just be a chunk of like chocolate, which is kind of good. Like, I'm not complaining, but just for presentation, let's tidy that up slightly. Guess I can always trim that after the fact. You know what, I'm just remembering a dream I had last night that I think it was Shucks. It was Shucks, but it was weird because it was like all outdoors. But I dreamt that I ended up in an event with the losers. Like, Dave and like Loserpalooza, the board game channel. They're not losers. But there was like some kind of improv comedy event, which like I know I'm no good at comedy. But one way or another, I was in a loser improv comedy event. I was very anxious, but very excited to meet them. But even though I'm blanking on their names right now. Okay, I think we're about good. I'll bring the camera over here. That's probably the best way to do this. And it's going to look very messy, but that's the best stuff. The best tasting stuff doesn't look messy, so I think it's going to be fine. Alright, I'm just going to touch up this spoke. Messylicious, yes. Ugly Delicious. Is it David Chang's show, Ugly Delicious? Okay, let's rinse my hands. Okay, so I know we didn't show off much of the actual game. It's a little bit fiddly format. I might try and do a stream, like a playthrough stream. This setup, like casting from my computer, give me a little more flexibility in that regard. Like, if depending on how time goes, if I can find a bigger slot, I could potentially stream from here and then jump straight upstairs without ending the stream. But not in the weeknight, unfortunately. No time for both. But I'll be experimenting with the format. Maybe when I hit 100 followers, not subscribers, 100 followers, we can do a big bake and play and proper both. So let me unplug this. Okay. And we'll just... There we go. Okay. Ah, that works pretty well, actually. Okay, so here we go. Big wagon wheels. Ugly delicious. You can kind of see the spokes I was going for on the top two here. It'll probably look a little better when they're not like super shiny and weird, and actually clean up all the rough edges. But these are wagon wheels. Wish I could share them all with you. I mean, Ashton, sorry, the Gravedigger, if you're still there, I can put that aside for you if you want. But otherwise, you'll just have to make your own. I'll share the recipe again. It's on my Twitter. I put a Twitter up. So yeah, check that out. I'd like to see you do a stream where you do baking in an asynchronous game on one of the board game sites. You know what? Oh, sorry, phone on. I don't know. Okay. Quaid Rain has done that. Like he's had a game up on his tablet while he's baking, but because I'm sort of going remote here, I don't have like this. My setup isn't quite robust enough to do it. If I had a laptop, I'd be able to do that, but can't quite manage. I could certainly run downstairs to my computer now and play an async game, for example. So maybe I'll schedule some more time to do something like that in the future. If I do like a special weekend stream, perhaps. It's just finding the time because I've got to wait till the kid goes down just to sleep, and then another hour till she's actually sleeping. And yeah, just fitting everything else in. But I'll try and schedule something in soon, hopefully. Dee says she's coming to get one. Yes, I can hear the knocking at the door right now. What else was I saying? Yes, so stay tuned for what I'm doing next. Sorry, Great Western Trail. That's what I was going to talk about. So I'm probably going to stream some Great Western Trail coming up soonish, maybe next week. I'll do a Great Western Trail stream. I'm going to do the baking every second week. So maybe next week we'll just play some Great Western Trail on VGA. I'll see if Mark has time, otherwise I'll find someone to play with me. And yeah, let's see if there's anyone to raid. I don't think there's anything else to announce right now, but yeah, stay tuned to our Twitter, and Twitter's my place. It's all going to be announced. Yeah, so Great Western Trail stream next week, tentatively, and podcast coming up. Guardians of the Galaxy podcast out today, and Founders of Teotihuacan stream coming soon. So stay tuned for all of that. Looks like Brain in the Jar is still streaming, so I guess I'll jump onto them. They're playing Castles in the Sand, which looks really cool. So why don't we go check that out, and I will see you all later. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Bye.